The knocking didn't start suddenly. It was already happening when I realized I was awake. Not slow, not hesitant. It was relentless, heavy, fast, aggressive. Like whoever was on the other side of the door wasn't asking to be let in. They were trying to break their way through. I froze on the couch, my whole body going cold. For a few seconds, I couldn't even breathe properly. The apartment was silent except for that sound, pounding over and over again, shaking the door in its frame. I hadn't ordered anything, I wasn't expecting anyone, and I knew deep down that whoever was out there didn't belong here. My hands were shaking as I grabbed my phone and dialed the building's security. I didn't go to the door immediately, I just stood there, listening. The knocking turned into something worse, fists slamming, then a dull, violent thud like someone kicking it. That's when I forced myself to move. Slowly, quietly, I stepped toward the door and looked through the peephole, and my stomach dropped. He was standing right there, the same man I had seen the night before and earlier that morning, dressed entirely in black, head slightly tilted downward, but his eyes were fixed directly at the door, like he knew exactly where I was standing. His face was still partially shadowed, but there was something deeply wrong about the way he moved, jerky, impatient, almost twitching, like he was holding himself back from something worse. The moment I saw him, he slammed his fist against the door again, harder this time. I flinched back, nearly dropping my phone, and started speaking rapidly to the security operator, my voice shaking as I explained what was happening. At the same time, I shouted through the door, trying to make my voice sound stronger than I felt. "I've called security. They're coming." He didn't stop. If anything, he became more aggressive. The door shook with each impact. I could hear his breathing now, heavy, uneven, almost excited. I ran to the kitchen, dragged the table across the floor, and pressed it hard against the door, bracing it with all the strength I had left. I was pregnant. I wasn't supposed to be doing any of this. My heart was racing so fast it felt dangerous. Every hit on the door made me think, this is it. This is the one that breaks it open. And then, silence. Just like that. No footsteps at first, no movement, just a sudden, unnatural stillness. I stopped breathing, listening. Then I heard it, running, fast, away from the door. A few seconds later, someone else ran past, heavier footsteps, authoritative, security. I stayed where I was, still holding the table in place until there was a knock again, this time controlled, normal. "Security, are you okay?" I didn't open the door immediately. I couldn't. My whole body was shaking too much. When I finally answered, they told me they had caught him at the entrance of the building. The police were already on their way. But this didn't start that night. It started the night before. My fiancé, Daniel, had left for an international conference just hours earlier. I had insisted he go. My pregnancy had been difficult from the beginning. 3 months of strict bed rest, constant fear of complications, but I had just started to feel a little better. He didn't want to leave me alone, not even for a few days, but I convinced him. I told him I'd be fine. That night, sometime after midnight, I went to the window. The building was nearly empty because of spring break. Most of the students had gone home and the silence felt deeper than usual. That's when I saw him for the first time. A figure in black, walking back and forth in front of the building. Not casually, not like someone on a phone call or waiting for a ride. He was pacing, repetitively, obsessively, back and forth, always within the same small stretch of space. I watched him longer than I should have, and then he stopped. Slowly, he lifted his head and looked straight up, directly at my window. I stepped back immediately and pulled the curtain shut, my heart suddenly pounding. I told myself it was nothing, just someone passing time. But the next morning, he was still there. I was in the kitchen making breakfast when I noticed movement outside again. I looked, and there he was, same place, same pacing, like he had never left. This time, I didn't look away fast enough. He stopped again, and he looked right at me. There was no doubt anymore. He saw me, and worse, he recognized me. Something in the way he stood there, staring, it made it clear. He knew I was alone. I didn't wait. I called a friend, and within an hour, I was out of the apartment. I spent the night somewhere else, trying to convince myself I had overreacted. The next day, I went back. Everything felt normal again. Too normal. The building was quiet, empty, almost peaceful. I called Daniel and reassured him that everything was fine. I even laughed about it a little, embarrassed at how scared I had been. Until that night. Until the knocking started. The police came the next day and took my statement. That's when they told me the part I wish I had never heard. He had been there the night before, too, at 2 other apartments, both occupied by women who had stayed behind during the break. He had tried their doors the same way, and at the station, he admitted what he was planning to do. He wasn't targeting a specific person, he just wanted to break into any apartment where a woman was alone. They told me to be careful for the next few days, but it didn't matter anymore. My bleeding started again that same day. The stress, they said, but I knew it was more than that. Daniel came back as soon as he heard. He changed every possible flight and arrived the next day. He didn't hesitate. We were leaving. Within 2 weeks, we found another apartment far from that building. Within a month, we were gone. I never saw that man again, but sometimes, late at night, I still think about it. About how long he had been watching, about how he waited until the building was empty, about how he didn't knock like a normal person. And what scares me the most isn't that he tried to get in, it's that he already knew I was inside.